Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club, and we got a special guest in the building.
The queen, the legend.
Erykah Badu. Welcome.
Ooh. If I could. Good morning.
Good morning,
Good morning.
Icon. How are you?
Good morning.
I'm good.
I see you on the cover of Vogue.
You saw me?
Yeah.
Congrats.
Celebrating 25 years in the business. It confused me, though, because it said second coming. I'm like, second coming?
That's what I said, too.
Yeah, you've been here forever.
I know. I haven't left.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something they know that we don't know.
What do you think that is?
Some kind of reemergence or something. I'm going to take these out. Did everybody see them?
That's them freshwater pearls and Kyrie shells?
You understand.
Come on now.
Okay.
Take the grills out. Got them? There you go.
You know what I love about that?
Put on this very clean, sterilized table.
There you go.
It's so spiritual, but yet still so down South Texas.
Oh, yeah. I think so. Yeah, I don't know what they mean by second coming, but I'm honored to be on that cover, you know, recognized in a world that I cherish so much, you know, art and creativity and style. That's really cool. Really cool.
Do you feel like they be trying to interrogate you when they have those like conversations with you for those covers? Like they really want to get in the mind of Badu?
I don't know what they be trying to do. I'm impenetrable when it comes to that kind of thing. I usually guide the conversation to, you know, talk about the things that I think the people should hear. Yeah.
I got a chance to see you outside the country. You were we were staying at the same resort hotel, and got a chance to see you perform.
Why are you telling all her business?
She was performing. She was performing. What do you mean?
Legally.
She was performing.
Okay.
Legally.
She was performing. And you know, people. I'm not gonna say people, but I forgot how many hits and records that you had.
Really?
Like the amount of time you were on that
You
stage.
think I do the Super Bowl now?
Oh, come on. You could.
Yeah,
manage that.
absolutely.
Okay.
What?
And people know?
Would you do it? Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. It depends.
They ready for that? I can see those headlines. They'll act like you've cast a spell on America.
That's what they meant.
But the fact that you had youngins in there all the way to at that thing it was like 65-year-olds and everybody. The music transcended. Are you ever surprised with the demographic of fans that you have? Because it was young 21-year-olds that knew every word, and then it was 65-year-olds.
I think that the people our age and older resonate with the music, and the people who are younger, like Puma's age group, the 18 to 30, they resonate with the words, because I think that's where we are right now as a culture, moving forward in our spiritual understanding. So I've been waiting for them to grow up.
You've been waiting for a minute.
To have somebody to talk to.
Okay.
No, that makes so much sense because when you hear a lot of these youngsters talk, the spiritual journeys that they're on, you created the soundtrack for that years ago.
Somewhat, yes. I think so.
And now you're so fashion forward. How much luggage do you have to carry when you're on the road? Between the hats, the
Queen
outfits,
of Sheba walking through the airport.
the jewelry, you have so. I'm like, how does she carry all that?
Queen of Sheba, cattle, gold, trunks, concubines, fans. I have everything walking through the airport.
And you feel like you have to show up for every show. Like people expect this. You can't just come with a.
But you know what? There's something people have to know about why I have all of these bags. I have the bags because generally people have a makeup artist and a hairstylist and wardrobe and costume. I do all of that myself on the road. So I carry each production with me. So if you see me and I have all that stuff, it's for a reason, you know.
I seen you pulled up and it was like Erykah Badu's truck is here. The car is here. I was like, all right, let me go out and meet her. And when it opened, it was just bags.
I was in one of the bags.
He was in one of the bags.
She told us she the bag lady.
The bag lady. She was in the next one. I was like, goodness gracious, a lot of bags.
How
No
did
cap.
How does it feel after 25 years, though? Has it felt like 25 years in this game?
Kinda. I don't really have a great conception of time, as you all know. Kinda, sorta. I could say now I'm gonna be 52 on my birthday.
Whoa!
So I could say that.
I would have never guessed that.
Yeah, I could thank you. I know I look like a child.
Yes, you do. I didn't realize how much. You see the pictures of you and Puma, but when y'all see, I'm like, y'all could be sisters.
We could be. But yeah, I don't know. But at 52 now, I see how fast it went. And when you get to be like 52, we're past middle age because what do we live to? 80, 90? We were middle age at 40. So when you get to about 52, it's kind of like it didn't really go that fast. So you don't want to really waste time on the things that you had to because you don't have to anymore. So it should be smooth sailing from here.
Ease.
Yeah. You know who's a fuck boy and a fuck girl. You kind of like play the cards like that. Yeah.
When I look at people like you and Queen of Fool, I just be like, you can't even say how old you are. You really do have to say, so how young are y'all?
Yeah. Queen of Fool is amazing.
Oh, yeah. She was up here yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
And I think about your music, and I feel like you've been prophesying so many things that we are currently witnessing. Do you ever look around sometime and say, I knew it? I was right all along.
Yeah, I knew. That's why I said it.
What you drinking?
This is apple juice and water and the herbs I drink every day. Bladderwrack, sea moss, astragalus root, and omega-3s with a little bit of magnesium.
And what's that good for? Your immune system?
It's good for everything.
Everything?
Yeah, I'm trying to hit all the points. Yeah, because I also have some bad habits. So this is how I balance it.
What's your bad habits?
I
Like
can't
what?
really tell everybody right now. Yeah.
Eating habits, bad habits?
Got my stomach
I heard that
growling.
stomach,
your stomach growling?
Hungry.
How long you been fasting?
Jesus.
3 days? I can tell that wasn't no regular stomach growl.
It just wants to be a part of the interview.
Yeah.
It's like, you lying. That is not what we did.
Now,
Yeah.
how often do you fast or and detox if you do?
Every Friday.
Every Friday.
Yeah.
So Friday to Monday you fast?
No, just every Friday. Friday 12 to 12 noon, midnight to 6 p.m.
Why Friday?
I just picked a day, that I thought I could remember and handle, and I've been doing it for years. Yeah.
What gives you the most purpose nowadays? Is it music? Is it performing? Is it being a doula? Is it being a mom? Like, what is it?
What gives me the most what?
Purpose.
Joy.
Joy.
Joy, purpose.
I think loving myself in a different way. I like my alone time because I've spent so much time with everyone, children, and relationships and things. I'm enjoying my time right now.
What do you do by yourself? Is it meditation? Is it watching fuckboy television? Like how do you enjoy yourself?
Television?
Reality TV and stuff like that. Like what do you do then?
Okay. I rest and I walk around the house and I make things and I look in the mirror and I get in my sauna and I braid my hair and I just do things, so I can be me,
And what is it about the sauna? They tell you that you enjoy the sauna numerous times a day. What is it about the sauna that
I do all day? That heat really warms up the organs and the cells and the toxins, as come out in the sweat and then go right into the shower and go back. It's just a detox. You're detoxing all the time. Yeah.
You've always shown like so much confidence, so much poise, so much strength, and I love when you say you.
Did you say strength?
I'm from the South Carolina.
Okay.
But you talk about looking in the mirror. Has there ever been a time where you looked in the mirror and didn't like what you saw?
If I did something that was not good, or I'm hard on myself, so even if I think something about somebody that ain't cool, I'd be feeling guilty. Yeah. So, yeah, I have, looked and like, that's not cool.
you said if you think about something negative about somebody, you feel guilty?
Yeah. I think they can probably feel that at some point. Energy is transferable.
Now, when people reach out to you to be a doula, how do you decide if you're going to do it or not? Is that based off of energy, based off if you know somebody? How do you decide that? Because I'm sure a lot of people reach out.
It's knowing people and meeting somebody. You said it exactly right. It's the energy of conversation of what's going on.
And when you become a doula, how hands-on?
You got to give Erykah some time between these questions.
I'm sorry.
She be feeling things through. You know what I
sorry,
mean?
I'm sorry.
He's excited.
I know.
I'm excited.
I feel like we cutting off the thoughts. You got to let her just.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's all good.
So
He can probably finish his sentences, at this point.
I was asking when it comes to being a doula, how hands-on are you? Because, sometimes, it might be in a different state, a different area, a different zone. So how do you?
So my doula services start from the beginning of the pregnancy, maybe the 3rd month. And we go through a nutrition plan, meditation. If there's something that needs to be smoothed out in the relationship, if they want to share that, we do that. The fathers are also pregnant, so I talk to them and a little counsel, and we, build altars together or whatever it is that the person needs. And we build a birthing plan. We start the exercise regimen, just whatever we need to do to clear out the way for those babies. Because my contract is really with the babies, for them to come through and the parents be in harmony and the room be the way that the parents want it to be. Just everything. It's a really important ceremony. So maybe one of the biggest rituals, that we'll have besides going the other direction. And I do that too as a doula.
What's the other direction? Deaf?
Yes.
I didn't know they had deaf doulas.
Yeah.
What does that consist of?
Same thing. You are, especially during the hospice period,
Gotcha.
you are gathering family members that they haven't seen. You are making sure that they are happy, eating or drinking or reading their favorite things, listening to Richard Pryor, whatever it is they want to do, praying, depending on what they believe. And because no one knows really where these beings came from or where they're going. But it's important to me that the breaths are easy during the transition. You're breathing easy. The room is easy, so that you can be prepared for the next day.
When you said the daddy's pregnant, what does that mean?
Like, there's an invisible umbilical cord connection that I find generally between the wife and the husband or the mates. He gains weight. He gets moody. He starts to change. He starts to crave other things. Could be other women. Could be freedom. It's just everything changes. So everybody's going through this process. And I find it comforting to have someone that understands what you're going through to help you make the right decisions during that period as a man.
When you do the doulas for the transition, what kind of energy is exchanged in the room, you think, between you and that person, if any?
A lot, maybe. Usually I'm trying to be like water, like Bruce Lee says, once I get everything the way it should be, I'm in a corner like waiting to see what the next thing is. And sometimes I'm at the forefront when the person doesn't really have a lot of family. We're reading, we're watching their favorite show, we're watching Steve Harvey, we're laughing, we're massaging the feet, combing the hair, braiding the hair, sometimes brushing the teeth if they can't do that. Sometimes you get to a point where you can't swallow. So I'm walking them through a breathing ritual that makes it more comfortable for them.
How difficult is that for you?
Not very difficult for me. And that's why I decided to be the welcoming committee and the ushering committee, because the first time I did it was with Stickman's first child, him and his mate Afia. I was just friends with them, and I happened to be at her birth, and that's when I kind of knew, okay, because I had just had 7 a year before, and I just kind of knew I can do this. This is something, and I'm always looking to be of service in some kind of way. So that's when I started studying and taking it to the next level. Yeah. Channeling information and things like that.
I feel like you've been doing that. That's why even talking about your music when I said the thing about how you've always been prophesying things.
Channeling.
Yeah, channeling.
Downloads. Yeah. That's how most things come to me.
Did that hinder you when you was younger? Because I'm sure that you saw things other people didn't see.
Yeah, definitely. You know, the energy is so great sometimes in numbers when people don't really understand you or could be intimidated by you or any of those things, envious of you even. Sometimes the energy is too big when it's a lot of people. I can handle one or two, but when it's a lot, maybe the energy gets a little big. So as a child, it made me dim my light or pretend that I was like everybody else, you know, to make it easier for me. Yeah.
When did you start sharing your gifts?
I always did, but around groups of people, it's easier to just kind of blend in a little bit. And I don't find that a bad thing to do, especially if you're aware of it. Yeah.
Importance of family. You know, one thing, dealing with all these artists and meeting all these artists, you see who's close with their family, and then you see who's really close with their family, right?
Right.
And I seen you around your sister, your daughter, your mother, your whole family.
Yeah.
How important is that? Because you seem like you have them around a lot.
That's what I do it for. I do it all this for them. I don't really need nothing. I just like collecting shit, you know. It's for them, you know. And they would do it for me, each of them, you know. So we all travel together. We've been all working together for the last 26 years. My grandmothers were my accountant and publicist.
Oh, wow.
At a point. They passed on now. My mom was the governess of my house, the caregiver for my children. My sister sang back up with me for 10 years, and now she is my partner in my company. My best friend out there called Chris, we've been friends since we were in high school. He is my partner in my merch company. Yeah, it's just so Big Mike, you know. I keep the same people because it's easy, you know. We trust each other, and they look out for me. If I'm doing it's good to have like an asshole checker, and your family, your family's not scared of you, really,
Right.
You know. So
who's the asshole check out of everybody you name?
my mama, yeah, she'll quickly. No, that's not it. Yeah.
Do you listen when she usually does, or take some time?
It's sometimes some pushback, depends on, you know, if I haven't got it yet, what she's saying. She's usually always right.
I love the quote about your mom. My mother was an improvement on her mother's design.
Right.
So I'm sure Puma is an improvement on her mother's design as well.
Yeah, I think what I see in a lot of parents, mother-daughter relationships, is the mother doesn't realize that you still have the opportunity you're still growing. It's not over for you. If you have a daughter, you still have to keep going, you know, and the things that, you know, you didn't learn before, you will get to learn them through your kid. And that's how I see it going. You know, sometimes when you don't know that, it makes it difficult for both people. Because when the roles aren't really played to the best that they can be played, then that's when conflict arises to me.
Now you got your own line of cannabis coming out with Berner.
Yes.
How did you and Berner hook up, and how did that come about?
I believe Berner reached out years ago, and I just wasn't ready to do that yet. But he reached back out, and I said, I think it's cool. It's time to do that. And I noticed that there was no area in the cannabinoid world where women were being focused on. So my focus in cannabinoids is women's studies in the body, in childbirth, in meditation and religious studies and spirituality, casually, mothers, everyday people, and building a product line around their needs.
Is it flour? Is it edibles? Is it what is it? A little bit of everything?
Flour, edibles, creams, sprays. We're also doing mushrooms, mushroom teas, a daytime tea and a nighttime psychedelic tea.
Oh, I need some of that. I need some of that plant-based medicine.
So break. I've never had a mushroom in my life. So break down the feeling of the psychedelic, because I'm sure there's some people that have never experienced that as well.
It might be a little different for everybody, but for me, It's ritual work for me. I never do it like in a group, hanging out with people. It's something that I do alone. I do that in my alone time. And with the mushrooms, that plant medicine pretty much allows you to see the things that you block out. You know, the traumas that you've blocked out come to the surface, and you're able to see them. There's not necessarily a solution-based medicine, but it is definitely a 5D look at yourself completely.
Some people would say, why? Like, why do I want that trauma in full face if I'm trying to run from it? Why do I want it? Why do I want to face it?
You're not supposed to run from
it. Well, that means that you don't want that right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think plant medicine finds people. You know, it finds people, it finds you. You know, you've heard about it, you read about it, and you keep seeing it. Then there you go. Maybe.
That's how I feel about ayahuasca.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I keep running from shrooms.
Yeah.
Like, but ayahuasca, I'm all in. I've been talking to a shaman. Like, I'm going to do it. Like, and I feel like I got to do it this year.
Yes, I understand that, because mushrooms is generally not a shaman-based thing. You know, the heroic dose of a 5-gram mushroom intake kind of takes you to a place where ayahuasca does. You know, it releases the same amount of DMT.
Mm-hmm.
So, but what I like about what you're saying, the guided shaman meditation kind of gives you these guardrails if you've never done anything like that before, because it can be shocking. It can be sad. But what I've learned is when I do ayahuasca, it's different for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But I find myself in these rooms, Envy, like you were talking about. Why do I want to go down this rabbit hole?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I find myself in these rooms, and I also find myself able to open my eyes, and I don't have to stay there.
Mm.
That's the lesson for me. And I take it in everyday life. When I get these thoughts in my mind, I'm able to now discriminate between the thoughts that are going to take me to this place and don't. And because of the experience I had with, they call ayahuasca grandmother, with grandmother, who told me, well, you don't have to stay in the room. You know, you balled up in the corner in there.
Mm-hmm.
Open your eyes. Get out of that room. Yeah. So I take that with me through life now. And people get different things. That's what I got, you know, from my experiences. Discriminating between thoughts that evolve you and thoughts that do not.
Everybody I know that's done it, the one constant I hear is they all say they saw God in some way, shape, or form. Like, I know, like, my man Neil Brennan was an atheist, did not believe in God at all. He said he did ayahuasca, and he said he saw God. And they all describe it as either a light or a feminine energy.
Grandmother is what they call it. It is like your highest self and protector is what it feels like. It's like one thing, like a being that you can trust more than anyone. And I would describe that as God too. You know, non-judgmental. Yeah. And don't help you, you know, when you're going through these hard things during the ceremony. There's no help. You know, you got to man up. You know, you got to see what you're made of during these times. And I think that is what God is all about to me, too, so I agree. I'm not clairvoyant like that. I don't see things, but I definitely feel them.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like we can visibly see your third eye.
Mine?
Yeah.
You might can see it, but I don't visibly see any. I just feel things. My clairs are clairaudience and clairsentience, you know, feelings and thoughts and words. But seeing stuff, I don't see that.
Oh, but okay, I get it. But you feel it, though.
I do feel it.
Got you.
Mm-hmm.
Got you.
Yeah.
How many times have you done?
I've had 5 ceremonies.
All in the same place, different places?
Different places. I wanted to do it in its indigenous place, so
Me
South
too.
America is where I go to do it. Sao Paulo. Like when I have a show there, then I make sure that I make time for the healing work.
How long does it take? What's the process, procedure?
It's an 8-hour journey.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't wait. I really can't wait.
I can't wait for you.
No, I can't wait.
It's gonna help. definitely. And I still feel some of the effects from an ayahuasca ceremony I've done 2 years ago or something. You know,
Really?
I'm still getting downloads of, oh, that's what that meant. That's what this is. That's why I saw this person, or that's why I feel that person. Yeah.
How often do you share that information with the public?
I've never. This is the first time.
Oh wow.
Wow. No, I'm not talking about the information of you doing it, but the information, the downloads you get from doing it.
Rarely, because it's a personal thing, but if it's helpful, I will share it. Definitely. I think I'm more vocal now about this world, this 5D world, right now than ever, because I think that everyone is receptive to it, you know, so I feel, you know, more comfortable talking about it.
You think because everybody feels that we're fully aware something else is going on. Like this is all a mirage. There's something else after this. I feel like during COVID and after COVID, it's like the curtain got pulled back.
Yeah, well, that COVID was part of that thing. They say that we're moving into the age of Aquarius from the age of Pisces. And the age of Pisces was the age of, according to the theory of astronomy, the age of I believe. Now we're moving into the age of I know, which is, so it's the age of technology, where you don't have to guess. You can see. The Matrix. You can get downloads of things really quickly. So we've moved into that age together, and our children were born in this age. So, yes, we're in a different time, a different place.
How much do you think technology helps or hurts? Because you use technology a lot.
I do.
Yeah,
I'm definitely an analog girl in a digital world, so I got to use it. How much do I think it helps?
Helps or hurts?
I don't know. I see it as like I see any other entity or person. There's good and bad in it, and you use it. You know, how you use it determines whether it's good or bad. Yeah.
Because I feel like they can take things that are just pure and turn it into something else. Like I saw that when you and Puma posted y'all picture together.
Yeah. We just have fun all the time. And Puma's collabing with a pants brand, a really cute pants brand. We do this all the time. But I don't know, people just, you know, I think people just kind of don't have enough to do. You know what I mean? Have enough shit to do. But, you know, you going to stop doing the shit you're doing to interrupt the shit I'm doing. You know, you don't have enough to do. And that's how I look at it. But it's okay. It's cool. And we count on it, you know. It helps us sell the product. You know, it's free publicity.
How do you deal with Puma dating, if she's dating? How do you deal with that?
She is.
How do you deal with that?
I really, really like her mate.
Okay.
I think she's on point. Like she's an improvement on my design. I wasn't as mature. I didn't have my boundaries in place the way she does. I think they good. I think she's cool. I think her father also thinks that the brother is a really good guy. So she's good. You know, she has so much to do, and I think each step of the way she's making sure that she's paying attention. Yeah, she's definitely an improvement on my design for sure.
I was gonna ask, you know, how did you move around a pandemic? Meaning, they wanted everybody to do certain requirements to get in certain buildings, and I know how you are about your herbs and what you drink and what you put in your body. So, and then you look now, a couple of years later, you see so many problems with people, right? People having heart attacks like crazy. People are passing away like crazy, and nobody knows the reason why. So how did you move around during the pandemic?
I really didn't go to many places. You know, I am the first social distancer. It was based on my concept. But yeah, I don't really go places and stuff anyway, so it was beautiful to me. And when I would go somewhere, I would forget that, oh, we have to wear a mask. We're in this world. Because I usually be in my world. You know, I create a world inside of my space. And it's just always been that way for me. So I didn't move around too much.
Do you stay away from people because you are such a sponge for energy? Like, because you feel so much?
Probably. Probably. I'm figuring that out. Why I do that.
Even now, like even
Why I stay away from people.
I'm saying you're still figuring it out. Why?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure there's more. You know, I've peeled back a couple of layers. Some more layers to peel back. Yeah.
I can't ever imagine a time where Erykah Badu did not know who she was.
I do know who I am. That's why I know I don't know things.
Ooh, word.
The man that knows something
Knows nothing.
knows that he knows nothing. That's how I on and on. Yeah. So I know I didn't know shit then. Yeah.
Did you always know you
So
was a
much to
healer?
learn.
I'm sorry.
Yes. Yes, kind of. Kind of, sort of. Yeah.
Since at what age?
9, 10, something like that.
That early?
Yeah.
And how did you know?
The way people respond and animals and things.
Like how to respond? Like
No, I
at
get it.
9, 10?
I got energy like that in the house now.
That early? Like that's
My 4-year-old, everybody, we all see that in her. She's an absolute healer. Like she does things my grandma does. Like,
Yeah, just like the way I nurture rocks, or a plain old rock means a lot to me. I don't know. Yeah, I kind of knew that. I guess for the sake of words, healer would be that word.
Did you feel
But-
odd in school because you obviously you were
I'm
different?
a mutable person, so I learn quickly not to put myself in the line of fire.
Gotcha.
So I kind of mutate to how other people behave and learn that. Yeah. So I didn't really. Yeah, I didn't really do too much talking about these kind of things.
Which is wild to me because you're a musician, right? So you have to talk and
Not
talk
always.
to producers, and even though you play most of your own instruments, it was none of that.
Well, when I was younger, I thought we was talking about that, but I didn't become a singer till I was like 25.
Yeah, I'm talking about when you were a kid.
As a child?
Yeah.
Okay. How old is your daughter now?
I got a 14-year-old, a 7-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 15-month-year-old. But the 4-year-old is
What's the birthday?
she's a Libra.
Oh, she is?
Yep, she's a Libra.
She was born in September? Okay.
Yep. What made you jump just now? You felt some bad energy, didn't you?
Kind of.
You did a little bit, right?
A little bit.
Okay, all right. Don't worry. I did. Yeah, it was a little, you on point. Yeah, you on point. I saw you jump.
You on point. Now she did jump a little bit.
Yeah. It was,
You on
yeah.
point.
Bag got hot.
Now you got a book. Is there a book coming out in 2024? I keep hearing about.
For me,
Yeah,
I might be. I don't think so. Am I putting out a book?
Erykah, I heard
New America
New
Part
America Part 2.
Two?
Is that gonna be the album or a book? Oh no, the book. Okay, the book. Okay, that's gonna be Part 2. New America.
No. I don't know if somebody gave y'all some wrong information.
Yeah, somebody gave us that.
What'd it
wrong
say?
information. It
So you got a book on
Erykah
Erykah Badu
a book
album.
on Erykah Badu album. New America Part 2 is coming in 2024.
Maybe somebody else writing it.
You would have to do that one day though, right?
Write a book.
Yeah.
You keep telling me that.
You should.
I really enjoyed your book. I think I'll get. I'm so lazy. I like doing things that come really easy for me. And I do them well, and I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel.
You perform for 2 hours straight. That ain't that easy.
It's super easy.
You singing, running back and forth, playing instruments.
It's easy. That's easy. Like this is easy for you. That's what I think people should focus on. What's the easiest thing for you, and find a way to capitalize on that. And, we be trying to live other people's lives and shit. What's the easiest thing for you?
That's why everybody all out of alignment now, because they're doing things that they shouldn't be doing. They're doing things that they see other people do.
Comparison,
Find your gift.
right? Comparison. Yeah, I heard. What's the guy name? Eckhart Tolle. You know that? I hear him say things like, "The ego needs an identity, and the identity lives by comparison." So we can't help but compare ourselves. I think somebody also said that when you're scrolling down Instagram, when you see a beautiful woman and you're a woman, you have about 2 minutes of depression that happens in the body.
Really?
Yeah, you get depressed a little bit for about a couple of minutes. So your body releases an enzyme or hormone, that causes that.
But what if you two are a beautiful woman?
It still happens for some reason, because the body naturally wants to compare.
Really?
Yeah.
Who has Erykah Badu ever compared herself to? Because you were 101.
I am one of one. But you don't always know that. We don't always know that. It depends on how we're feeling. Hormonally, we move up and down all day long, I'm perfect, but I don't know that. Yeah, all the way.
Is that something you have to keep telling yourself?
Yeah, I think we all do. Healing is like a full-time and part-time job. It's happening all the time. My daughter and I were talking once about jealousy and those kinds of things. And I told her those feelings don't ever go away. You just learn how to manage them better and use them, better. But the feelings of those things kind of stick with you. And, like people say, it's not a journey of trying to get somewhere. It's a decision that you make. I'm going to decide to behave this way. And that's because we're already here. We just have to decide. I'm going to behave like this starting today, So.
When's the last time you compared yourself to somebody? You personally?
Compared. Maybe. No. In that kind of way. On Instagram, I'm looking down the thing and you see somebody's body that's cute or something. You compare that, because none of us think we're perfect. I told y'all during window seat, I didn't think I had a great body, but I learned that I did from the responses.
Can you imagine if they had social media back then? Can you imagine?
Yeah. Yeah, when I see somebody, with an ideal body that I think I should have, I'll compare that in my mind.
What is an ideal body, though?
To me, it's athletic body. That's what I like, because that's what I've always had. And as gravity comes in, it's not the same anymore. It was athletic. Now it's athletic. Yeah.
You had the young boys going crazy last year though when you was twerking on stage. Who was that with? Was that with Megan? You was twerking on somebody's stage.
That was terrible.
He said that was terrible.
On purpose. I be trying to do terrible things and then people say it's great. That scares me. That really scares me because it's great. What do you mean? I don't believe you. Yeah, because I be trying to clown and shit.
So how did that impact you with your art?
What?
Like you said you be trying to do things terribly. Do you ever create terrible art on purpose just to test somebody in the studio? Let me see if they tell me.
I wouldn't say terrible art, but like not putting a lot of effort into something, and then people say it's great. That's when you know, okay, this is not me, because I personally didn't put a lot of work into that thing. Yeah.
Well, what if your 5 is somebody else's 10?
What?
What if your 5 is somebody else's 10?
It's possible because we're not the same. Yeah, none of us are the same.
So you do it to be bad, not to be good.
No, see, y'all taking it too far. No, I'm just saying, at some point when I'm just doing something, like I write a song over some music, and then I don't think this is it. And then people will go, that's great. I just don't believe it, because it's not great to me. So, that's what I mean.
I want to tell you one of these questions that one of our producers wrote on this list, just because I think it's a hilarious question.
Number 11?
Yes. Read it.
You want me to read it?
You read it.
Number 11. I don't know why I'm reading it, but I thought it was funny too.
I think it's hilarious.
Okay.
They said, you still selling your pussy in the bottle?
It's in a box.
It's in a box?
In a box. I am. Whenever need be.
It was incense, yes.
Incense, yeah. Whenever need be, I do.
How are you with your mate? Are you joking? Does your mate ever know when you crack a joke and you're being sarcastic?
I don't think so. I don't know.
It's always like he doesn't know if you joking or not.
We can say mates. We can go across the board, in time. You have to have the same sense of humor with somebody for them to understand that you're joking. Because there are few people that we don't have the same sense of humor, so they don't never know when I'm joking. You know, I have a super morbid, dark sense of humor. You know, I laugh at shit that people not supposed to laugh at.
Word.
Yeah. So some people know when I'm joking, some people don't.
So you have to have that real connection because you gonna laugh and they're gonna look at you like you crazy.
I really like having the same sense of humor and music taste. You know, and everything else can expand. As long as you're working on yourself, we can have that, and that's enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, as you're growing, we got to be listening to music. And we're going to be joking.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the constant things.
Mm-hmm.
So I like having those two things in common with someone.
And I don't like nobody making me question myself.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, damn, am I fucked up for laughing at that?
Right. Yes. I think we laugh at the same thing. And we get in trouble for it, too.
Absolutely.
All the time.
It should be funny, though.
All the time. I can't look at him most of the time because we just start laughing at stupidish and we usually get in trouble.
Yeah.
All the time.
People always tell me, it's too soon.
Is it though?
It's too soon.
Yes, sometimes.
What is time? I don't know. You know.
Yeah,
what I
right.
mean? So tomorrow?
Don't
like,
hit them with what is time.
That's how I be feeling. Like, what do you mean too soon? Like,
Yeah.
And most of the time, we're not laughing at the situation. We're laughing at the absurdity.
It's just heyoka. Heyoka is a term coined by Native American tribes, like the Sioux tribe, for example.
The reason I'm laughing now is because we had, don't worry, I'll tell you.
You talking about heyoka?
No.
Oh.
We had a co-host today that was talking about Native Americans and Indian people.
Man, shut up.
And she
Don't
just
even-
used
no,
a
that's-
term
we
that
say
was
we say
so
that one
wild.
We say that.
Yeah,
off
we tell
air.
you off mic.
Tell me in a minute.
No, we tell you Mike. Tell me.
Oh, later. Okay. Heyoka is a term that describes a character in the village who does everything backwards. He rides the horse backwards. He purposely burns himself to make fun. He's like the jester or the joker. But he's the one who tries to make people not take things so seriously.
Gotcha.
Life and death, you know, and birth and tragedy, you know, so he makes the joke out of it. I'm super heyoka. So people don't think that's funny a lot, you know, the things I say, but I'm trying to make it lighter and that you don't take it so seriously. It's okay. We're in one moment right now.
Gotcha.
You're that too.
I'm 100%.
Yeah.
Sometimes to my own, I don't even want to say it's to my own detriment. I just don't think it's a gift to share with everybody.
Right.
That's something I had to learn much later in life, though.
It's tough love because you tell the truth and you don't really have patience for anything in between. So that's heyoka as well. Super gifted, but really impatient.
You know, one thing we talk about with you, and I love it, like you've never allowed yourself to be labeled. Like even when it comes to men, right? So people always talk about your baby fathers, but you like they can't ever label you anything. Like they don't do that with other women. Other women they'll put labels on.
Oh, yes. Lucky. Born on the right day, you know, I don't know. I think if you're transparent, people shouldn't do that, should they? Yeah, I didn't know anything. I didn't know. No one would expect to have 3 baby daddies. Who plans that? But when those things start to happen, you don't stop living. You continue to grow and live and learn and make the best out of those situations and things. Who would want to do that? You know, in this judgmental society.
You just fucked me up because I thought Erykah Badu planned it.
You did?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, I planned it.
I thought you.
Some part of me.
It's got to be right. Yeah.
No. Let's be transparent. You know, for my sisters out there, we fall in love. You know, love is a chemical thing. We fall in love. Really, I think God make us fall in love just long enough to get pregnant, so that we could go ahead and procreate, keep the race going, and then that dies down, and then everything else is on you. Depending on your culture, next step is marriage, or the next step is another mate. The next step is whatever. In our culture, the next step is supposed to be marriage. And it doesn't fit everybody. That doesn't fit me, you know. And marriage is in this country a culture. It's a culture. You're supposed to do a certain thing. So because we're all individual beings, everybody does not have
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
relationship skills. Everybody does not, you know, have the same relationship skills. Everybody does not have 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 relationship skills know how to be a mate.
And
We
did you-
try, but we're not taught that. That's something that we're not taught how to do. It's a whole culture built around it, but we don't even know how to do it. It's the most important thing.
Mm.
Yeah.
When
Is
did
that
you,
you?
when did you realize?
I don't have those skills.
You know you're not built for a relationship.
Not that kind.
Mm-hmm.
Not yet.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I noticed that I didn't have relationship skills when the rules of those engaging skills is the man is the giver and the woman is the receiver. My body is not built that way. I like to polyurethane and climb trees and have cars and work and I'm ambitious for my family. I am the breadwinner of my whole entire clan, my family. I'm the franchise. So that doesn't really work for the culture of marriage that we have been taught. It could be another kind of thing it could work for. But this culture that has been instilled in our minds doesn't work for that. And women who do have those kinds of desires and things are deemed too masculine, too ambitious, too that. You want to be a man. What do you mean? I just want to be Erykah.
But it's changed a lot.
Yeah. It has to a certain extent, but not in that area. Because if you want to be chosen for a mate, you really have to understand the culture of partnerships. There's a culture.
Word.
Mm-hmm. And you have to be willing to work. That's why they call it hard work. You know it. They call it work because it's not a natural thing for us. It doesn't come natural for us to do some of those things that the culture of relationships require. That's why we gotta work hard and make mistakes. And I accidentally did this or that because it's hard work.
It's so wild because I think people look at, when they think of you, they think of Erykah is the woman that does what she wants to do and necessarily doesn't want to be in a long-term relationship. They look at Erykah as like, this is what I want, and then I'm on to the next because that's how I am. I'm a free being, and that's how I feel. I don't think anybody would ever thought that that's what
The
you would've
free
wanted
being
it.
part is right. I am very open. My heart is very open to new relationships. It's open. I don't carry the fear and hate from the last one into it because it's something else. So I'm not a planner as much. That's how I also know that I'm not suited for the culture of relationships because it requires all these plans and things, I am suited for the culture of entertainment, though. I can do that very well. I know all the ins and outs of that, and I've spent most of my adult life honing that energy and not giving a lot of time to the other part.
So you wouldn't necessarily want to work on the relationship part. Just wasn't in you at the time.
No, I didn't want to at that time. I just felt like if it didn't fit, I ain't doing that. It doesn't work.
So you could let go so easy, I guess, because
I have to work afterwards. The letting go part may be easy, but the work is the missing the people, and you create these bonds together, and yeah, it's very difficult. But I like to do that in private. I'm not gonna make it the guy's responsibility or nobody else's. But I know when there is time. The download told me.
I'm glad you're here because I want to explore this with you because you said something and I've been thinking about this. I feel like patriarchy is such a forced concept.
Yeah.
And I feel like people have to create a patriarchy in order to make men lead. I think if it was just naturally divine, it'd be a partnership. But I just think
Balance more.
It'd be more balanced, but the women are the natural leaders to me. And I don't know if you've seen the new cover with Rihanna and A$AP and that child. To me, that represents that in such a real way.
It speaks volumes to A$AP Rocky's love for her, and for himself. You have to really love yourself as a man in this society that has done its number on you and beat you down to the point where you feel like you're nothing if you don't have some physical thing to offer. You're an extraordinary human being if you have emerged out of that pool of despair. You know, it's disparaging to have to feel like you are nothing if you don't bring something to this table in the culture of relationships.
Mm-hmm.
It's difficult. I have a son, so I would hate for him to have to feel like that and then result to insecurity and result to envy of his mate and all that. You know, that's why I'm not suited for this culture of relationships, you know, because I don't believe those things. I don't believe my son to be in a box, nor myself,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Have you had problems with men understanding that you just are a natural leader?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they was in the world I grew up in.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes. I don't think they mean to. I don't think they want to. But this is the program, you know. And I also think it's a very innate thing for men to want to care for and take care of someone for the rest of their life, you know. But the way that we think that they're supposed to take care of someone for the rest of their life is skewed, obscured to me.
Mm-hmm.
Can't expect somebody to be the strongest person and never cry, carry you across the railroad track, and that's a human being too, you know. So, and they feel like failures a lot when they don't do those things and can't do those things, and they feel like inadequate beings when the woman makes $70 more than they do, or something like that. To me, submission is a very important thing in the relationship. And I think the person that submits should be submitting to the person with the mission, not a stronger person or the male person or the female. Whoever has the mission, and it works for the family, you know. And the woman can have more money, lots more money, but as long as a man has a mission, it's fine, you know, because if he wants to and needs to feel a certain way, you know, about it, then it's up to both of us. Not because it's the rules, it's because we care about each other.
Mm-hmm.
We're compassionate to each other's feelings and each other's needs. I know what you want and what you're trying to do. And there's no way I would poke at that or put you down because of it, like what you said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Make you feel bad because your humor is dark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Would you have a problem submitting to somebody?
Not at all.
And that, no?
No, I do. When there's a mission, you know, that's what submitting is about. But if someone expects you to be submissive in the culture, what the culture describes as submission is cooking and cleaning and bearing and doing all those things. I do all those things too. But that's not all I do, and only all I do. So.
And you do it because you want to, not because.
I do it because it's my responsibility.
Okay.
You know, it's my responsibility. I agreed to do those things. Yeah. That's why I do them.
The only time I've ever seen you like really push back on double standards that exist is when they would age shaming you.
I think it's so weird. I mean, it is. It's like Erykah Badu, 52, goes to the store. But if we're talking about you, Charlamagne, there's nothing in sight with your age.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just that's part of the culture. Mm-hmm. It's the part of the patriarchal culture. They don't see it as age shaming. They feel like they are letting us know, letting the rest of the people know. You know, they're not saying you look good for your age. They're just saying you've aged. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what that means. Mm-hmm. You know, still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they do that even with who you might choose to date, because he can be with Young Miami.
Yeah.
It's no problem.
Yeah.
Erykah with a young boy what is she doing?
Yeah, it's just like that. It's because we're not supposed to. We're supposed to be some pussy. Y'all can beep that out. But that's what we're supposed to be. Mm-hmm. And if that's all you're supposed to be, then they got to put an age on it. You know? It's old pussy.
Well, treat it like cognac.
It's new pussy.
Treat it like wine. It's seasoned. It's better when it's seasoned.
Well, we know that. Yeah, we know that. But, you know, it's just weird how the world is set up, because I don't see it. And I'm not programmable when it comes to that part. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not a nonconformist. I'm not a feminist. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm just awake. Mm-hmm. I can see.
Awake, not woke. There's a difference.
Both.
I hate woke. I think woke people need to get some sleep.
You know, because they're using woke as something to compare themselves to somebody else who doesn't know as much as they. That's not what woke is. Me and Georgia talked about woke the other day. What woke is keeping your antenna up and paying attention to the things that are going along, or going on in your life, inside your body and outside. Stay woke, you know. It's just been obscure. We're taking it back, you know, because woke is a necessary thing for people. You know, you got to be aware, in tune, in alignment with nature and the things that are going on, so you can not make the same mistakes. Yeah.
Just a personal question. I just wanted to know.
Yeah. Her time is precious too, by the way.
I know. I just want to know what got you into DJing. Like, what made? Because you know you DJ shows now. She DJs arenas. What got you into DJing?
I've been DJing since I was 14 years old. I used to skip school to go over this guy's house and DJ, and he would have like 5 or 6 other people. They was all grown people. They was like 19 to 25. I was 14, and I would go over because I was really interested in DJing, and that's where I learned. And yeah, it's just been a love of mine since, because I love music so very much. My uncles and my mother, my cousins, I mean, we are all music historians. We love all genres of music. It's our coping mechanism along with dark humor, you know, music and humor. And that's the way I grew up.
Gotcha.
So that's comfortable for me when somebody has that same humor as your tribe. And the same kind of understand for music, but I've been DJing a long time. I ain't new to this.
I see.
She knows the DJ arenas. Thank you. She DJ'd my Queen's 40th, and that was a vibe.
We had so much fun.
Oh man, nobody knew she was coming. My wife didn't even know. And when Low Down Loretta Brown walked in the building, Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Man, that was incredible. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
And we appreciate you for joining us this morning. Thank you so much.
This was so good. We're gonna leave people confused.
Why?
No, we're gonna leave them going to do some research.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
That's
thank
all.
you so much, both of you.
Anything else they need to know?
Just that you guys are sitting in throne chairs, and I'm in like a regular.
No, we got yours coming.
Oh, you do?
No,
We got an extra one coming in.
We do.
You are lying.
I'm not lying.
No, we do.
But see, I'm torn on it because I'm not gonna let everybody sit it. I'm serious.
Oh, so you got one for the guests?
No, special guest.
Oh, no,
Special guest.
Special guest.
Okay, cool. I like it. I'm really happy to see y'all.
I'm happy to see you too.
And I'm grateful to be here, and I'm grateful for this collab with Cookies. You know, because it's important, you know, for us to expand and break that, you know, that taboo about women and cannabinoids. So I forgot I had to plug that in.
No, we got you. We got you.
We've been talking about supernatural. Yeah, but I'm happy and I'm grateful to Vogue for recognizing, you know, my love for fashion.
Well, thank you.
And happy early born day.
Yay, my birthday party.
Would you like to close us out on a prayer or some positive energy?
Absolutely. A prayer?
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, God, thank you. Look, we don't do all the right things, and we don't know all the right things, but we are so happy for all of the information that you have provided us. We're so grateful for Ma'at, that means balance. I'm grateful for running water and for clothing and shelter and buildings and partners to argue with and people to compare ourselves to, and the mistakes that turn into our greatest lessons. We thank you, and we don't take this opportunity to grow for granted. Asheo.
Thank
Yes,
you.
indeed. The queen, the icon
That's
living.
right. It's Erykah Badu.
That's her.
And it's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.